Hey, y'all. What a day. What a day. This is my review for the Real Housewives of Miami, season 7, episodes 2 and 3. I just wanted to catch up, make sure I'm on track for next week because look, today has just been interesting. I'll just show y'all. Yeah, yeah. Um, I kind of freaked out about it earlier today, but I'm good. Doctors in the chat, let me know, should I be worried? I was told I shouldn't be, but just saying. Um, I probably won't have that many people in the live chat because I didn't really promote this video. I'm just getting it out the way. But yeah, let's get into it. This is episode 2 we're going to cover first. We open with Gertie, Lisa, and Adriana. After Adriana starts, after she finished talking about her new man, we found out that Lisa is going to Milan to walk in the Philip Plein show. Now, I was not familiar with Philip Plein. I asked my friend who works in fashion, and he said basically it is expensive and gaudy, and it is right up Miami's alley. Shade. He said he wouldn't be caught dead in it. But yeah. She also says her dad recently had a heart attack and isn't doing so well. So she's on standby because she doesn't know if he's going to make it or not. Anywho, she lets the other ladies know that Larsa is going to be in Milan as well, which is awkward, especially after their encounter from the last episode. Speaking of which, next scene we're with Larsa, and she's getting ready to go with her son to Milan. She was initially asked to walk in the show, but she suggested her son. So basically, Philip is friends with both of them. And I think it's obvious that they coordinated this whole thing when they were still cool. Oh, thank you. Y'all, I went to urgent care today. That's why my video with Jared was pretty late. I explained it on the Patreon, but the doctor said it was a subconjunctival. Oh my God. I'm going to spell it out. Sound it out. Subconjunctival hemorrhage. A subconjunctival hemorrhage. They said it was nothing to worry about, and if I get some more irritation, that I will go to the doctor. So yes, but I'm just saying, I am the hardest working person on YouTube. Just saying. Point me to a harder working YouTuber. No shade to any of my fellow YouTubers. So yes, where were we? So next scene, we're with new besties, Alexia and Julia. They're discussing the blow up between Lisa and Larsa. Then Alexia brings up Guerdy, and once again, Julia is fabricating and putting 20 on 10 with her issue with Guerdy. Like, we already saw the receipts that Guerdy put out. I feel like Julia could have easily talked to Guerdy, and it looks like Guerdy had no idea that Julia was holding all this resentment towards her. I also don't want to see that fucking flashback of the Zoom call anymore. Like, they've been showing it every damn episode. Julia goes on to bring up an incident between her and Guerdy about a cruise they went on together because Martina couldn't make it. She's most likely leaving out details like she did about the Zoom call. I don't trust anything she says at this point. Alexia then starts talking about Todd, and here come the tears. Next scene, Lisa and Larsa, they both arrive in Milan. They were on the same flight, and even worse, they were assigned the same car. Now, ain't no way that wasn't orchestrated by production. That had to be. Like, it's beyond awkward, and look, it is a classic Housewives moment. For real. Larsa is facing Lisa and Jody while her son is in the front. I recently went to Milan. Y'all know my trip to Italy. The airport is at least 45 minutes away from like the main city. So that was a long, uncomfortable car ride, I'm sure. For the first 10 minutes, it's cordial. But Larsa, she can't help herself. She's an asshole. So yeah, she brings up their issue with each other, and now there's a back and forth. Larsa keeps going as Lisa definitely wanted to be respectful and change the conversation because of Larsa's son. Larsa didn't care. Like she won't shut up about it. Like she's now insulting Lisa and her boyfriend to their face. Lisa tells Larsa that she's dealing with, her dad having a heart attack and doesn't know if he'll make it through or not. Like she's on standby. Larsa, without missing a beat, nonchalantly says, "Well, you shouldn't have come." Oh, like, she's like, "Why did you come?" Lisa is flabbergasted. Again, I would have beat her ass in front of her son. I'm sorry. We would have been scrapping in that vehicle. They probably would have to pull us over or something. But she would have got her ass whipped in front of her child. It's just wild. And she doubles down on it. And I'm just like, Lisa, like, she's going the classy route. But I really need Lisa to bitch slap Larsa. I would be really happy about that. Yeah, Larsa is extremely self-censored. And yeah, when the Kardashians hate you, the Kardashians, just think about that. Like she's worse than a Kardashian. Alexia crying because she has to take care of herself financially. The car ride was awkward as it was hilarious. I'm glad I don't watch this Miami crap. What is in Miami water that it always beautiful ladies like Wendy and Gertie are getting splashed? Cancel this show. Well, the ratings came out today and you might get your wish. So meanwhile, we're back in Miami. We're with Gertie and her husband at her plastic surgery consultation for her breast reconstruction. So basically, it's taking multiple surgeries to correct her breasts, and Gertie just wants to make sure she's aesthetically happy with it. And, I get it in her mind. Like, she wants to feel good about herself. She wants to feel sexy for her husband. And look, if she don't feel sexy or whatever, like, I think it's going to be bad for her husband as well. And she tells him that. Russell is wondering how many more surgeries, because he's the one who has to take care of her and he's the one who has to see her in pain after each surgery. And look, it's a bit of a roller coaster and it looks like it's putting a strain on their marriage. They've been together for what? Like almost as long as Kyle and Mauricio. But I think Russell is being really patient for her though. Like he's one of the best house husbands in Housewives history, I think. Like y'all, let's name some good, like after the video, y'all, or if you know now, put in the comments like one of the best housewife husbands who are there for their wife. Like I think Russell is probably at the top of the list or at least top 3. Next scene, we're with Marisol and her common law husband. They're finally deciding to get legally married in a week. She's then talking to him about her frustration with Alexia still choosing to have Todd in her life. And she hopes she realizes that he's not the one for her. So then we're back in Milan and Larsa has no remorse coming after Lisa. It's a shame that her son is more mature than her because he recommends that she shouldn't be confrontational with Lisa. So now we're with Lisa and she still, she can't believe that like how disrespectful Larsa was. And I'm just like, how? Like, why not? Like Larsa is a horrible person. Oh, Greg Leaks. Yes, Greg Leaks. John Barlow. Oh my God. He is, yes. You know what? Todd as well. Now I'm gonna need you to go in the corner for this answer. Oh, Ray. Like just for that DUI video. Yes, Ray, yes. Top 5 husbands right there. Right there. So then we're with Larsa at the showroom, and it's pretty clear her son is only modeling because his mom made it happen. Like you even hear the designers say, like, this was your idea. I'm gonna be honest, her son, I didn't get model. I get model from Garcelle's son more than Larsa's son. Now, wait a minute, Lisa. She's on her way to the showroom, but the designer asks Larsa, like, where's your friend, Blondie? She's like, oh, Lisa? I'm like, wait a minute. Like, he don't even know your name, Lisa, but excuse me, you claiming him as like y'all friends? Yeah, it looks like he's friends more so with Larsa. In any case, the designer is a real douchebag. 1 second, y'all. All right. Had to keep my notifications on. I have a friend in town. Uh, Next scene, we're with Alexia, who organized the dinner for her friend. She invited all the ladies not in Milan except for Gertie and Adriana. She said she didn't want any drama or for anyone to make the night about them. She wants the night about her friend, which I thought was pretty ironic because Alexia made that entire dinner about her when she brought up issues with Todd. And look, this is the episode like last week. I was like, I don't like how it's clear that they're trying to ice Gertie out. And, you know, Gertie, I like her on the show. Nicole was by far my favorite, but I just don't see any reason for them to try to ice Gertie out. But we'll talk more about that when we get to episode 3. Alexia goes right into talking about her drama with Todd. We learn more tea about why they broke up, mostly because of the show itself. And I think this is the first time they actually like broke the fourth wall on this show or franchise. She puts Todd on blast in this scene. That kind of had me like, well, you know what? Maybe this is a real breakup. Maybe she not playing with her marriage for a plot line. She's saying like, oh, well, we're in the fake rented apartment, the rented car. The expressions on Marisol and Kiki's faces are priceless. I'm assuming they just can't believe that she said that on camera. So then Alexia starts to break down, telenovela style, saying like how, how did I get like this? You know? I guess. She then starts saying, he's a monster, a coward, fuck Todd, fuck Todd. Then to saying that she still wants to be with him. Okay. She has completely taken over the dinner meant for her friend. All right. But you didn't invite Adriana or Gertie. Okay. So we're back in Milan, and it's the night of the fashion show. Lisa and Larsa's son are backstage. Larsa and Jody are out front in the same section. And look, this was definitely coordinated plans. The fashion show starts, and Larsa's son, I think he actually did well. Lisa comes out, she does great too. But as she comes out, Larsa takes out her phone, and she has like the big light that comes on top of it. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, ridiculously big flashlight on top of it. And she just starts taking photos with, I'm assuming, the partner of Philip Klein. Like, it was just so disrespectful as it was petty. So then when the models come back out, it's at the end of the show, Lisa's walking back past Larsa and she blows a kiss in her direction. Like, the pettiness from both sides, I was loving every minute of it. Like, I love episode 2. Like, this feud right now between the two of them, it was hilarious. It was very reminiscent of Jill versus Ramona, how petty their feuds would be like. So then after the show, it's the after party. After the show, it's the after party. That's lyrics on one song. Again, Larsa and Lisa have to be around each other. They're in the same VIP section. Larsa approaches Lisa saying they need to talk. I'm like, leave her alone. Leave Lisa alone. Like, she's just such a mean girl. Cut to Lisa's confessional. She says she refuses to be disrespected by Larsa after being in a relationship where she was disrespected by her ex-husband. We get a random ass cameo from Fabulous. Yes, Fabulous. Him, the one that knocked his wife's tooth out. Him, because he performed at the event. He's in the VIP section with them as well, and he makes the mistake of asking them like what's going on between them, like what's in the Housewives universe right now. They're now both telling their sides, like each telling their sides to Fabulous as if he's judge and jury in this loud ass club. They both look ridiculous, like yelling in Fabulous's ear. Also, I'm just wondering who the hell cares what Fabulous thinks. So then they make an effort to move forward after this. And then meanwhile, she's looking for Jody, and it looks like something went down where he was upset about something. And then we fast forward to the next episode where Larsa's telling the other ladies that she was showing them a picture of Jody with his eyes bulging or whatever, but they leave it as a cliffhanger, and that is where the episode ends. Now, I don't blame Jody for being upset because she totally disrespected him when they were on like in the car ride from the airport. And she's completely like disrespected his girlfriend, and she's a mean girl. And I wouldn't blame him to tell Lisa, like, stop talking to her. Like, what are you doing right now? This is a merry-go-round. She disrespected you. This episode was damn near a 10. Like, I would give it a 9.5, actually. It was a really good episode. Just the right amount of drama. And I just thought the episode was really balanced. And they were in fucking Milan already. The second episode. But yet, I don't know. The ratings ain't hitting, y'all. And we're going to talk about that. So let's get on to episode 3. Wow, I got through that review pretty fast, huh? Now, if you are just joining, y'all, like I said, this is what happened to my eyes. This is the last time I'm going to show it. But yeah, hopefully it's getting better. I don't know. I hope it's not stress, but I am kind of behind on my videos this week. And, I've been working, and then I have friends in town tomorrow, for Pride weekend. So, just send some love to your boy. That's all. I will be all right. I will be all right. Anyway, we are on episode 3. This episode got me hot. So hot. We open with Julia and Gertie getting full on into it at Marisol's wedding party. Julia, is the one being extremely aggressive. So then production then does a Shonda Rhimes rewind to 3 days earlier. Larsa is now congratulating. We see Larsa congratulating her son. More desperate antics from Adriana over her new man. And then we see the boring lesbians, blah, blah, blah. Next, we're with Alexia as she's looking over the venue for Marisol's surprise wedding party. She's with her son, Frankie, and she briefly talks about how he's aware of what's going on between her and Todd, even though he can't really express himself like he can. Later, it looks like everyone is invited to this event with the exception of Adriana. I don't like this so far. Like, Alexia has been in charge of, I guess, 2 scenes so far of where they get to invite people, and I don't like how she's excluding people. Like, even if it is Adriana, it's not fair, and especially in the last episode. But then, let me see. Alexia calls Lisa on FaceTime because she's the only one who didn't know about the party yet. So then Lisa answers and says, well, she's in Canada because her father just passed and she won't be able to make the party, unfortunately. So the next scene, we're with Marisol about to get married, for real this time. And I'm just like, isn't this the 3rd time they've gotten married? And you know what? I'm just like, good for her. This entire scene, just looking at it, I'm just like, if Marisol can find somebody, there is hope for all of us, y'all. Because I'm just like, I'm looking at Marisol, I'm like, wow. She found love. Good for her. Next, we're with Adriana meeting with her old bestie Julia. Now, remember when they were close? They were thick as thieves. Like even to the point where we thought that they were cheating. Well, yeah, they were cheating together, and Julia was stepping out on Martina. So it is so crazy how Julia just jumped ship to being friends with Alexia, and then Marisol didn't like it at first. We remember this. Like Marisol just was getting along to go along because her bestie accepted Julia. So now she's in with the both of them, and they still don't fuck with Adriana, and it just says a lot about Julia as a friend. Speaking of which, Adriana does let her know that she was surprised that she was told about her new sons with the rest of the ladies. And I thought that was reasonable because like Adriana's supposed to be her best friend. She was the one that actually she was talking to before it was even an idea. And she supported you. But yet, look, again, we see this motherfucking flashback. Hopefully this is the last time, Jesus. Whew, I gotta, calm down, y'all. I don't want to irritate my eye. Nam Yoho Renge Kyo, Nam Yoho Renge Kyo, Nam Yoho Renge Kyo. 1 second. Do y'all still drink Arizona iced tea? I mean, you just can't beat it. It's $1. I'm just like, I like iced tea. I'm from the South. Arizona ain't that bad. Anyway, Adriana says that Alexia saw the boys before her. Now, yeah, I would be hot about that. Like, really? That's your new best friend now? Like, she is really latching on to Alexia. It's just so interesting to me. Like, it's almost like a jump ship moment with Jackie from Jersey when she was cool with Margaret and Melissa, and then she just jumped ship to being in the cool girls clique with Teresa and Jennifer. Crazy to me. Let me see what y'all talking about. Adriana kissed her hired boyfriend. I really do think he's hired. Hey, Riri. Adriana probably started seeing all Martina tweets and knew she had to keep all of her pride gigs, so started distancing herself. Oh, wait, give me the tea. Martina's tweets? What did Martina say? Marisol hates Adriana, but I think soon everyone will be in the same room in the next episode. Well, no, because in the next episode is the baby shower that Adriana is throwing for Guerdy. And Guerdy, of course, does not want... Wait, did I say Guerdy? She's throwing it for Julia, and she doesn't want Guerdy to be there. So, yeah, we're still not going to get a complete cast. I'm just really annoyed by that. Right. Julia tossed Adriana the second Alexia gave her the time of day. Didn't Adriana say 2 seasons ago how Alexia and Marisol iced her out after the show ended years ago? She was hurt. Yep. Crazy. I mean, it just shows what type of friend Julia is. Alexia just called her a Russian hoe bag last season, and now she's best friends with her. Yep. Martina is loudly... Wow, really? Get their asses both off the show. For real, for real. So then, yeah, let's get back to the review, y'all. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah. So I was just saying how this whole thing is a tale as old as time. The girl that, was never that girl getting in with the popular girls, and now she's acting funny with the people that, were cool with you as you were. So yeah, it's... I don't know. I would side-eye somebody like my friend being friends with other people that don't like me. Next scene, we're with Gertie and Kiki working out. Now, already, I'm noticing 3 episodes in that since Nicole left, Gertie doesn't really have, she doesn't film with the other girls solo outside of Kiki. Like, yeah, she's cool with Adriana and Lisa, But let's just go down the line. Like, she's not cool with Marisol like that, her and Gertie. Like, Gertie isn't cool with Alexia like that, or Larsa. So that's already four, like that's half the cast. And I don't know what to say now because not Lisa, Kiki, I'm looking at Kiki funny after this episode. We'll talk about that later, but I hate that it feels like Gertie is on an island, like they're putting her on an island. So then Kiki asks Gertie, well, where are you with the other ladies? Because she's noticed that she wasn't invited to Alexia's dinner in the last episode. And look, Kiki is the girl that's in right now. Like she's the accepted black girl, and she's trying to help, Gertie out. Like that's what it looks like from the outside looking in. Like everybody cool with Kiki. It's Gertie that's the problem. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I'm gonna just keep it 100. And she's just letting Gertie know the overall feelings of the ladies. And when she said, "Oh, well, the other ladies think you're too much. You're extra," bullshit. I smell bullshit on that. That is so crazy. Too much, really? So then, meanwhile, we're back with Julia and Adriana, and Gertie is brought up, and Adriana lets her know that Gertie is confused by what did she do to Julia. And according to Julia, Gertie makes things about herself. And I'm just like, is this bitch for real? Like, is she really saying this when Larsa and Alexia is on the same fucking cast? For real? Whew. Calm down, Chris. Calm down, Chris. Remember your eye and your blood pressure. More bullshit. Again, we hear about the boat cruise story, and I'm not believing her at all. She even says she feels uncomfortable in Gertie's presence. Gertie didn't do anything to you. If anything, Gertie should be uncomfortable in your presence. And if Gertie was like me, my petty ass, after you threw water on me, I would definitely not want to film with you or have the other ladies not invite you to anywhere. But yeah, like I still feel like, I know I'm jumping ahead of myself, but I still feel like the other ladies that were there are neutral. Like they don't feel anything bad about Gertie getting water thrown on her. But anyway, let's rewind before we get there. Also, I think if Julia felt this way, like she's just being passive aggressive by not discussing it with Gertie at all. I feel like they never had a conversation. Yeah, they are jealous of Gertie's confidence and probably envy her business success and marriage. Totally agree with you. Cut back to Gertie, and it looks like Julia has been telling this boat story to everybody behind Gertie's back. Just it's so conniving. So then Gertie is rightfully defending herself while Kiki is telling her, maybe tone it down a bit. I don't like that at all, Kiki. Nope, wrong road. Wrong road. Trying to tell another black woman to tone it down, calm down, dim her light. For what? For what? Y'all know I love me some Kiki, but I gotta call a spade, and I was just so disappointed. I'm gonna get to it anyway. Afterwards, we actually get a solo Kiki scene. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I skipped over one. Next scene, we're with Lisa and her boyfriend, and she's just, coping with the loss of her father while she's in Canada. She's about to go to the funeral. And now we're with Kiki. I think it's one of her first solo scenes. She's with her mom and her daughter going to the Museum of Ice Cream. Her daughter was so precious in this scene. Chocolate. Like the workers offered her ice cream. She's like, chocolate. So cute. We're getting to know more about Kiki's background, her mom, and her upbringing. And I just really don't understand at this point why she's not a main cast member. Like they need to bump down Julia, really, for real. So the next scene is the day of Marisol's surprise wedding party. Kiki and Gertie look stunning, by the way. Like, I like the weight, the little weight that Gertie put on. Like she is thick and right in all the nice places. But yeah, before Gertie arrives, Kiki kind of stirring the pot a bit and let the ladies, including Julia, know that Gertie thinks Julia is brainwashing them. So when Gertie arrives, you can immediately tell who she's friends with. Like she hugs Kiki and says hey to the other ladies. And then I love how she goes up to Julia, reintroduces herself. Hi, my name is Gertie. Like she's like, you look like the friend I used to know. Like at least she ready for the BS. But I'm just wondering where was the rah-rah energy at that point from Julia? So then we see Gertie get a drink at the bar, and as a bartender, I was like, now wait a minute, Gertie, hold on. Ain't nothing wrong with having a tip jar at an event. And I'm saying this as a bartender. Take care of your bartenders, all right? Like, I don't care if it is an open bar. Tip your bartenders too. Like, yeah, we getting paid by the hour, but look, like T.S. Madison. Yeah, you get tip more. And then, taxes are taken out of our checks too. So the tips, they even some shit out. Mindy says Gertie was literally calling Julia an animal. How's that okay? Julia still had no reason or excuse to throw water on her. Really? I'm really surprised by this. So the only reason Gertie called her an animal is because, as you can see in the scene, when Gertie was literally asking Julia, oh, well, would you like to talk about this in front of the group or private? Julia snapped at her aggressively and then started getting up and getting into Gertie's face. Yes, I'm going to call you an animal. You're on a farm, aren't you? You're around barnyard animals. You're acting like one. So yeah, like I'm totally on Gertie's side. Like Julia started all of this. Like they could have had a real reasonable conversation had Julia not, act like an animal. I think Kiki is probably giving advice that she was taught and was used to survive in her workplaces. Child, we've seen that a lot. We have seen that a lot. Like two black people in an all-white space, and one of them is like the accepted one, and the other one is the one that's kind of on the outs. They're going to stay who they are. They're not going to assimilate. They're going to be themselves. And I guess, you know what? It's triggering looking at that because I've been in situations like that, working at, fine dining and being in that space, and, I'm having the other black guy tell me like, oh, well, this is what's going on. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to maintain being myself. I'm not going to cheese up for these white people. I'm sorry. I'm not. But yeah, it just made me think of that right quick off the top of my head. Charging like a ram. Yeah, so she was acting like an animal. Yes. Oops. Phone drop. Can we stop this? This is Housewives. This is what they do. They throw insults. Julia is way too intellectually challenged to tussle with Gertie. She's a dumb Dora Olympian. Oof. Julia violated Gertie. If she would have thrown water on Julia, she would have been the angry black woman who they aren't comfortable being. They would have iced her ass out like Monique. Like she would have been off the show. I guarantee you. Again, y'all, I am getting ahead of myself. All Gertie said was, would you like to do this in front of the group? And Julia immediately started telling Gertie she's not a producer. And so Gertie just had to remind her we're not on a farm. Anyway, so later the guest of honor arrives with her new hubby and she's wearing an eye patch. Child, look, I might have to wear an eye patch soon. Anyway, she said she had a sty. The lady's kind of roasting her a bit, calling her a pirate. Is this Halloween? Gertie tells her to her face, oh, this should be your new look, honey. We almost have 100 people in the room. Please like the video because ain't nobody watching Miami clearly because of the ratings, but I would appreciate if y'all watch my review. And it looks like y'all are, and I appreciate it. So please like the video. It helps a ninja like me a lot. So the ladies are sitting together, and the topic of conversation is Milan, and not Larsa willfully bashing Lisa, knowing that her father just died. I'm not surprised because look how she treated Gertie when she had cancer. Larsa then talks about the last night of Milan, accusing Jody of acting crazy and yelling at them not to talk to each other. She then alludes to him being on something by showing this badly taken photo of him. Now, was it just me, or was the photo like a nothing burger? Like they kind of really hyped it up to be nothing. Like you would have thought like his eye was hanging out the socket the way some of the ladies reacted. It was ridiculous. Larsa is now spinning this narrative that Jody is controlling Lisa and after her money. What money? Her alimony money? Her child support? Jody got money too, don't he? I mean, let me know in the chat. It's just real nasty work. And then, third episode in a row where Larsa, I don't know, she need her ass beat. Yeah, then speaking of which, later on, Julia is clearly putting 20 on Tim, congratulating Marisol. Like, she didn't even like you, girl, last season at all. But then we cut to Gertie's confessional, and she's wondering how the ladies are saying that she's too much when Julia is the one acting a fool. So then Gertie at the table is telling the ladies that Julia has a problem with her, and then Larsa and Alexia encourage her to talk about it. So they call Julia over. Kiki suggests to Julia that, y'all need to talk. She's like, I don't know about that. So then Gertie says, do you want to talk in front of the group or away from? Before she can even finish, Julia aggressively snaps at her, saying that she's producing, literally yelling at her. Julia then gets out her seat, just acting a drunk, belligerent mess. Gertie gets up and says she's acting like an animal, and she is. It's become like a full-on scene, and Julia is screaming at the top of her lungs, and getting in Gertie's face. She never had this energy for Marisol or Alexia when they were beefing. Like, it just says a lot. So then they sit back down, and Julia dumbass gets up again, putting her hand in Gertie's face. You notice what she's doing, right? She was trying to antagonize Gertie, and Gertie refused to take the bait. So then she started to try to up the ante as the scene went on. She was like, she's not reacting like I want her to, because they know that if Gertie reacts, then, I'm a poor defenseless white woman being attacked by this angry black woman. Help me. Like, that's what was, that was in her head, what she was thinking. Look, they could get both of those. You know what? I'm gay and I can say it, but I'm not going to say it on here. But they need to get those off the show. Both of them. Them old, decrepit mummies off the show. Like, go raise your kids. Anyway. I wish I was on the Patreon, y'all. I wish I was on the Patreon. I would go off. But I don't want, this to be demonetized. Anyway, I wanted to jump through the TV during this scene. And this wasn't even the worst part that happened. Yes, trash. And then, yes, the microaggressions. As we go on, Gertie continues telling her side of the story, and Julia interrupts her, saying this woman is scary. Already, nope. And Kiki, I am looking at you, because I definitely, as the other black person at the table, would have said something. I was like, nope, we are not doing that. We are not on my watch. Not on my watch. We ain't doing this. But you know what? Quiet as a church mouse. And I'm sorry, Kiki. I got to call you to the carpet. I'm very disappointed in you. So then Julia calls her a psychopath a scary psychopath, crazy. And then Gertie tells her to be quiet. Julia then flings water in Gertie's direction, with Kiki sitting in between them. Bitch. That knock-kneed scarecrow would be on the floor, laid out. Laid out. Now, they didn't show this in the preview, so my mouth dropped. I was gagged that this happened. The ladies at the table do nothing. Like, all they do is just recoil. They can't believe what Julia's doing, but they didn't say anything. Like, Marisol's just like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. But she didn't even stick up for Gertie. Like, Gertie is on the island right now. Like, Gertie is calm. She's calm, but she's shocked as well. Julia gets up again, continuously trying to antagonize Gertie. It made me furious. It made me furious. So then they sit back down. Gertie is going to tell this story. It's like wet and all. She's going to continue to tell her side. Basically, she says that Julia was the manipulator. Martina was the issue. She brought up the fact that Julia went to get a facelift while Martina was in New York getting chemo. Now, the real kicker is Gertie says to Julia and the rest of the table that she waited a year to tell her about this issue. And I'm just like, there it is. There it is. It is blatant that she chose to have an issue with Gertie because she knew she was on her way out off the show. Her and her born-ass, decrepit wife. And I say that loosely. Anyway, the other ladies don't get involved whatsoever. Kiki tries to leave with Gertie, tries to get her, they want us to leave. Gertie was like, I'm not going anywhere. And I'm glad she stayed. Kiki decides to leave. She says, I'm all wet. And I'm like, well, Gertie was the one that was actually wet. Like, we see the water dripping off her face and we see the water stains on her dress. I didn't see Kiki wet at all. But yeah, again, disappointing Kiki. I don't expect anything from the others, but this just really showed me, like, I just wonder how Gertie feels. I really do. That would be my question to her. And I'm just like, in this scene, it just really made me miss Nicole. Nicole would have never let that happen. She would have had her back like a real sister. She definitely would have had her back. And I'm just like, I miss Dr. Nicole so much. Like, I feel like I want to cry because that's how much I love Nicole on this show. Like, she really brought just something different. Like, she just brought an authenticity. And those ladies were so jealous of her. Like, Alexia, Marisol, and Larsa, they were jealous of Nicole, definitely. But yeah, justice for my girl Gertie. I just hope she, navigates the season well. But look, this is only episode 3. We probably got 12 weeks to go. So the party goes on. The credits are rolling. They present Marisol with this cake. Meanwhile, Julia is being peak white woman, trying to cry now, play victim. She wants to be comforted by Larsa. And yeah, that's where the episode ends. I'm just really glad Gertie stayed her ground, wasn't going to get ran off. 2 great episodes back to back. This episode gets a 9. I only enjoyed the last episode because it was just fun, petty fights. This one, it just kind of enraged me, but it was still a good episode. With that said, the ratings are trash, y'all. It's a series low now. The numbers was 284,000 people watched the episode. Those are YouTube numbers. So I'm not really sure. Like, hopefully it's doing well on Peacock. I did see that it was number 2 on the Peacock app. So people are watching. They're probably just not watching on Bravo. Maybe that's it. But then next week we have the new girl that shows up. The girl that used to date Nicole's ex or whatever. Not Nicole's ex, Nicole's current husband. I think she's coming on as a friend of Larsa's. She's gonna get a clean slate. Hopefully, she's likable. We shall see. One thing we do know that she is rich, very rich. So I would love to know y'all thoughts on this episode. Are y'all team Gertie or Julie? I'm about to say Julie. Julia. Let me just read some comments right quick. Let that have been Portia. Julie would have been like one of those sentinels on X-Men when Rogue let loose on them. Oh my God. I miss Dr. Nicole. She would have had her back like a real sister. I love that line. Shout out to Kim. And Gertie got cancer. She ain't got time for this. No regard whatsoever for her health. The only thing Gertie has ever been guilty of is being a little extra sometimes, but that's it. She's never deserved any of this treatment. Totally agree. Child, I'm starting to see the cracks. And you know what? I'm just so disappointed because I was saying on Beverly Hills that at least on Miami, the two black girls get along. And now, like, it looked like Kiki even threw shade at Gertie on Watch What Happens Live with Larsa. Like, I really think Kiki is with the other girls, and the other girls like her way more than Gertie. It just says a lot. Chris, the tea with Stephanie, Nicole replacement's man's money is running low in real life. They no longer own the private jet they would flex with. Oh, okay. The mean girls are threatened by self-made women. I can see that. Gertie has a right to defend herself from an obvious setup by Julia. And it sucks that Gertie couldn't do anything because had Gertie mollywopped Julia, she would have been the one in the wrong and they would have treated her like Monique and after, how she bopped Candace. I hated seeing that water on Gertie. It was so humiliating. She is so strong and brave. It would have been easy to sit and do nothing or walk away. They've been after Gertie since Alexia's wedding. I'm not surprised Julia crashed out. She wants to impress Alexia. Team Gertie. I can't stand Larsa with her fake ass self, butt, lips, and body. Kiki gives, I'm cool being the only black girl in the clique. I would have fucked that Russian. I would have too. Where was the Kiki that addressed Lisa for her foolishness last season? Exactly. Kiki wants to be full-time. She would turn on Gertie in a second. I'm thinking that's what it is. I'm thinking that she wants to be Gertie's replacement. Gertie should have called for security. Right. Had her ass escorted out. Like, that's what happened. Like, she should have left. Julia should have definitely been escorted out, but they weren't going to do that because they were clearly on Julia's side. But anyway, y'all, I'm about to get some rest, much needed rest. I would love to know y'all thoughts and opinions on this episode, on these two episodes. And yeah, with that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you